The car door clicked shut. Seeing I hadn't moved, Marcellus leaned over. He pulled the seatbelt across my chest and clicked it into place. The air suddenly thrummed with his crisp, clean cologne. It was pleasant, yet strangely familiar. He didn't pull away once the belt was secured. He lingered, his posture frozen. "Mackenzie, do you remember what happened that night?" He leaned closer, trapping me against the door with his arm. We were inches apart. His breath grazed my cheek, sending a jolt of static dancing across my skin. The mention of that night made me tense up instantly. "Marcellus, could we—" I hesitated, my heart sinking as I braced myself. "How about I pay you?" "To settle the score?" Marcellus looked stunned. After a long beat, he slowly straightened up. His grip tightened on the steering wheel until his knuckles turned white. Then he let out a low, mirthless laugh. "Fine! Tell me, what's my dear family friend willing to offer?" I froze. Honestly, I hadn't expected him to actually accept. After all, regardless of who started it that night, I was the one who had come out on the losing end. I hesitated, then slowly held up one finger, testing the waters. 1,000? The corners of his lips quirked upward. Mackenzie, even the most mediocre escort would cost more than that. He had a point. With a face like his, Marcellus would be the top draw at any elite club in the city. "Then how much do you want?" I figured that considering my history with his mother, he wouldn't be unreasonable. I was wrong. He was entirely unreasonable. He named a price 10 times my offer, $10,000. I scowled, deciding to play it tough. "That's too much. I don't have that kind of liquidity." Marcellus nodded calmly. "If you don't have the cash, there's another way to settle the debt." I looked up at him, bracing for the trap. "Whatever you did to me that night, you just have to let me do it back to you tonight." "Absolutely not." Marcellus leaned back, unfazed. "If that's off the table, there's only one choice left. Fake it as my girlfriend. Help me deal with my mother at this gala." The first part was daunting. The second was terrifying. Yet, after a long moment of wavering, I gave in. This wasn't a choice between 3 options. It was a straight path to a cliff edge, and he had nudged me right off. However, as we stepped out of the car in front of the hotel, it finally dawned on me. Why did I have to choose at all? This whole debt was only on the table because I'd felt guilty and brought it up in the first place. When he demanded an exorbitant price, I could have just walked away. Instead, he had lured me step by step into his game. What a disaster. With a heavy sigh, I ran a hand through my hair and followed Marcellus into the hotel. At the entrance of the restaurant, he stopped and looked back at me. "A performance has to be convincing." He held out his arm. I hesitated for a heartbeat before slipping my hand through it. We entered the hotel and headed for the private dining suite on the 2nd floor. I prepared myself to play the villain, fully expecting to break up some star-crossed lovers. But the script took a turn. As we pushed the door open, I saw them. A man and a woman, or at least they were trying to be. They were locked in a deep, messy kiss, clearly trying to make a scene and sabotage the blind date. The funny thing was, the guy wasn't just some random stranger. The man pulling her in, his lips still dangerously close to hers, was none other than Amiri Jordan.